Maybe. Okay. So, I am going live again because I don't really have a lot of time to, again, do the whole edit thing. And I promised I was going to do some kind of snowy nails, so that's what I'm here to do. And I'm going to update you on some of the things that I'm going to be trying to talk about this weekend and next week. Some of the things I noticed in the news. Um, One of the things that I'm working on is earlier this week I did a little live. I got some new gel colors from Born Pretty, and they are the cat eye magnetic nail polishes. So I am going to be working with those, and I did a little cheat. I These are press-ons, but these are acrylic press-ons. So they are the full entire nail glued on, but they do have a layer of acrylic over top of them, so they are nice and strong, and I didn't have to work as hard at building up my apex and all that fun stuff to give them strength. So I am going to start painting and using some fun techniques for winter and snowy nails. This isn't going to be a long one, and I'm just going to kind of talk about what is to come. Before I get into that, though, if you are watching this on the replay, I thank you for coming in and watching. And one of the things I'm trying to do is I have a goal. I'm trying to build my channel, and I have a goal of getting to 500 subs by January 1st. So if you are coming in and you haven't subbed up yet, I would greatly appreciate it if you would do that for me. And also, if you could hit that thumbs up, all of that helps get me out in the algorithm, and it helps build my channel, and it's completely free. So thank you. All right, let's get on to it. First, I am going to use a combination of the MY115 and MY119 in the Born Pretty, the reflective glass series. And I'm going to do that on, if you probably noticed, I have a different shaped nail. The idea was kind of try and make this look kind of icically looking, and maybe do some sweater designs on these other two. Now, I've already done this hand. I just kind of did a little bit of everything to kind of test it out, which is going to drive me nuts because normally I just wear pink. But I did try this. This is a melted snowman. I wish I had gotten the face facing the other way, but I'm going to try that again. So I thought it was kind of cute to try. So, all right. First things first, I'm going to put a layer. I'm going to do 2 layers of this cat eye nail polish to give it just kind of a different little sheen. So, one of the first things that I am going to be talking about, getting into a little bit more depth, is this Morgan Geyser case. Now, I don't know. This happened back in 2004 or 14, excuse me, 2014, I believe it was. So, that's like 11 years have passed. And so a lot of people aren't aware of that case. It was called the Slenderman stabbing case. And now the other day, in 2021, this girl, Morgan Geyser, who was part of that case, she was actually the attacker in the case, and she was sentenced to, I believe it was 40 years in a state mental institution. Well, she, through like good behavior, all of this, she got out. And the conditions were that she live in a group home and be under an ankle monitor. Well, last week she escaped, cut off her ankle monitor, and ran off with a friend. And now the jury's out. We really don't know if this is a boyfriend or just a good friend, but they were caught. Now, they didn't even have the state of mind to plan this and save up and bring enough money. They got from Waukesha, Wisconsin to a city near Chicago, and um they were caught because they were outside of a gas station, um and they were sleeping on the sidewalk, and the clerk came in or came out, saw them sleeping, and said she couldn't have that. It was like a truck stop or something like that. And they were worried about them because it was very cold. Called the police. The police came. They lied about their identities, ended up bringing them into the station, and she ended up spilling the beans on who she was. So she ended up getting herself caught. They brought her friend in who also didn't want to be identified. Ooh, that's gonna look pretty underneath the icicles, I think. Um, so I'm going to go over the case of what was going on with that. Because that was just a mess. It was really um I don't know, it was hard to tell for me whether or not she was just very mentally ill and talked into this, or whether she really knew what she was doing. So it's an interesting story. It's a scary story, but all the same, I will be going over that. Also, last year there was quite a big trial in Michigan over on the west side of the state with Shanda Van Arker, and she was um convicted of starving her special needs son, who's autistic, starving him to death. And I believe when they found him the day that he passed, he was weighed, I mean, this kid was like 16, 17, something like that, and he weighed only 65 pounds. While I saw the other day that she was in court begging for a new trial. So that's going to be interesting of when that comes up. But she wasn't able to, because this happened in her original trial. She didn't feel well. So she asked if she could postpone it. Um, the judge was very adamant about not letting this drag out, getting on with it, and so we'll see what happens with that. Um, yeah, she was just disgusting. Her older son was also convicted because he was one of the caretakers of this boy, and she would call and um when she was at work and whatnot, and order him to do things like lock the fridge, stick this young man in a bathtub of ice because she said that he was not said that he wasn't behaving, etc., wasn't listening to what she said. So these were the kind of punishments that were doled out in that house. Just sad to think that there are people that are called parents out there. Doing this stuff. So that turned out kind of pretty. Thought it was going to be more blue. So I'm still working with these polishes and just seeing how they work together, etc. So next I am going to do some sweater weather. Oh, and so today, while I was doing this other hand, I happened upon a video from JLR. And I thought this was funny, and it was just kind of fitting. Well, not the fact that he got in a car accident. Um said somebody hit him in his fairly new car. I don't blame him for being kind of mad, but I thought it was kind of funny because the guy that hit him was wearing an OPI shirt, and that's kind of my favorite nail polish. So I thought, sorry, JLR, that it's still a good polish. I don't know why the guy was wearing the shirt. He didn't look like somebody who was into nails or anything like that, but hopefully JLR is okay. His cars can be fixed, and oh, such is life. The fun of being an adult. So, but back to this Morgan Geyser. I found some excerpts um of her statements to police, and I just thought it was very interesting to listen to her talk. And um she definitely got the harsher of the two sentences out of the two girls, because it was her and her other friend. But it was kind of sad because you see, when you hear her talk, you hear this girl that is just, oh, she's very extremely mentally ill, and I think she got taken advantage of by this other girl because she was jealous of this third friend. So another thing I found that was, and I'll talk about that when I discuss the whole thing, but I thought was kind of creepy, is if you if any of you followed the Sebastian Rogers case, one of the things that his dad talked about was that they would listen to these podcasts called Creepypasta, and they were these fictional stories um about serial killers and things like that, and they were made up characters. And Slenderman, which is the character that's surrounding this Morgan Geyser case, was one of those characters. And she really and truly believed that this guy was real, and talked to her and told her that she had to try to take the life of one of her friends. So um let's see, it's Lil. I'm sorry, I didn't see your message. uh I'm looking down at my nails. I don't know what my favorite Bible verse is. I have a few of them that I have leaned on during my life, so I guess it would be, there's so many, it's just whatever fits what's going on in my life at the moment. So um I'm gonna cure this white again, just because any of the really opaque colors take a little bit extra time to cure. They really need multiple thin coats so that they don't get nasty. And again, if you're just coming in, if you could please hit that thumbs up button for me and hit the subscribe button for me. I am trying to build my channel and trying to get to 500 subscribers by January 1st, and I am at 375, I believe, at the moment. So it's absolutely free, and I would greatly appreciate it. The more that you help me out, the more I get out there in that algorithm and out in front of people. And hopefully soon there's going to be a website accompanying this, because I also, my main business is designing high quality press on nails, and um offering self-care products, nail products, etc. So I'll be launching my website hopefully soon too. So the more people that see me on here, the more people can get to know about my website. Um, but this isn't going to be just some giant infomercial, so don't worry. I just will just to bring it to people's attention. So all right, I'm going to Now what I'm going to try on this nail is some of the sweater technique. One of the things I'm learning is a lot of this is about the consistency of the polish. It can't be too thick. It can't be too thin. It has to be absolutely perfect, or else it's either going to run, which is what happened on my first set of nails, or you're not going to be able to paint it at all. So here we go. And do two straight. I don't like those lines. That's the other great thing about gel polish. If you don't like what you put on there, you just wipe it off and you're good to go. Start over. So start by doing my two little lines. Two more little lines. Now I'm going to take this down and swerve and connect it to that one. And same here, I'm going to start here, swerve, and connect it to that one. And that's going to give us that little kind of cable knit look. I'm just going to drag a nice straight line up the side. I should be using my longer brush because that does make it a little bit easier when you're trying to do straight lines. But good thing it is 4 o'clock in the morning and I haven't had too much caffeine yet, so. And don't bump your line like I just did, or you'll. Okay. Now, I'm going to take my daughter and use quite a bit of polish because I'm going to pour acrylic powder on this afterwards. And it's going to soak up that moisture and that polish. And that's going to help it be 3D. And so you want it to be a little bit on the thick side. So, and this is, I don't know if you can see down in there, it's clear acrylic powder and some kind of the fairy dust glitter, the real fine iridescent, just to give it that kind of snow look. Now, you can see, got that little sweater print on it, and I'm just going to cure it, and I'm going to cure it twice, just to make sure. Close that up because my nickname's Klutzy Cutsy. We don't need that all over the place. So, next what I am going to do is clean my brush. Okay. Now I've got my trusty dusty little fan brush and I'm just going to go through and brush the extra glitter off, etc. So there I've got that. Now I've done this 2 different ways. I've used a matte top coat and matted out the back so the whole thing looks like that. And I like this though with the 2 different textures. We got the sweater stuff in the matte with the sparkly acrylic, and the clear gloss behind it kind of makes it pop. So yeah. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is, and we'll see if this ends up being my perfect vision or not, but I want to do some kind of icicles. Good grief. Stuck in the land of fuzz today. I'm just gonna do that like halfway. I'm just gonna take my striping brush. Just gonna start pulling that down into icicles. I did put a little bit more paint on my brush, but just like that. And then I'm gonna get out this again. And then cure it twice. So this lamp is 30 seconds, so it'll end up being 60-second cure altogether. And I think, but I'll have to get up and get my other. I'll have to get my one other color, but I think I want to do, instead of doing that melted snowman on my middle finger, I think I just want to do a, yeah, that looks kind of cute. So on this hand, I did the opposite. But, okay, excuse me for 1 second. I just have to grab that other color. Okay. So now we're back. Sorry about, and I'm sorry, I'm so disorganized. I am in, anyone that's been here before knows my mom passed away, so I am in the middle of going through all of her stuff and trying to organize that. I was in the middle of moving my office around in my house, and so I have right now have about 2 households worth of things in my house, and plus I have my nail stuff is in 2 different rooms, and they're right next to each other, but it's still, you forget what you're forgetting until you need it and you realize you've forgotten it. So oh, now what I just put on was Pink Glaze by Finger Paints. I love this brand, and it's just a nice kind of Frenchy color for down below, just to give it a little shine. And all right, so now I'm gonna do like a little Frenchy on this nail. So I like a deep French, so I'm gonna start about here. Make sure they're even. And then do my smile line. At least that's what I call it. I don't know. I've heard a million different names for that, but when I was in cosmetology school a kabillion years ago, we always called that our smile line. And as I said before, so right there, I had a little boo-boo, but everything's fixable with a little bit of acetone. and some patience. So then I'm just going to go in. Fill all that in. End up doing 2 coats. I am running low on my white, so it's sparse around here. I'm having to do the tilt on the bottle. And I'm gonna give it one more cleanup. There, okay. Now we're gonna give it a nice cure. Man, I'm telling you, when I first started doing hair and nails, if you screwed up your French, that was it. You had to start all over again. And now with all these gel polishes, it's so easy just to fix your error and keep moving. One more coat. And yes, I'm going to clean up that mess that I left on the side of my finger. Is that gone? One more little. Another thing, I think my desk is too high. I had it just right in the other room, but oh well, I guess if that's the worst thing that happens to me in a day, that's a pretty good day, right? Right. Okay. Now I'm just going to do a top coat over this whole nail first before I decide what else I'm going to do on it, because that's my safety. If I put a top coat on it, no matter what I do afterwards, after it's cured, I can pretty much just wipe it off and start over. The top coat I'm only going to cure for the 30 seconds because it is, completely see-through, so we're good to go there. And then for the blue nails, I'm just going to do Not quite sure what I'm going to do on that white French tip yet, but on the blue ones, I am just going to do some cute little snowflakes and be good to go. So there. And here are some of the cute little decals that I got. One of the good parts of the Temu haul. I cannot find my metal tweezers anywhere. So I'm just going to place those just here and there. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be exactly the same as the other nails. Some people like that. Some people don't. There's that little guy. And I'm just going to put probably about 2 coats of clear coat on, just because I cannot stand being able to feel any little edges of these decals. And even though they really do sit pretty flush on the nail, you still can end up getting a little edge. So we'll do that. And you do want to be careful putting this on too thick, because with this is the finger paints. It is self-leveling, so it will get pretty drippy droppy. Oi, I need to do some hand scrub. I have this great recipe, and I'm going to try and figure out how to ship it out without it dripping, but I made this awesome hand and foot scrub. And the other day, my hands were really bugging me, actually, and the one of them that I have is it's peppermint, eucalyptus, and sage in jojoba and rose hips oil. And oh my gosh, I scrubbed my hands down with that, and it made my hands feel so good. It just, that the peppermint and the eucalyptus soaked in and just helped relax my muscles. And okay, actually, I'm not feeling any edges on that, so I'm going to leave that one like that. And let's see. I don't think the reindeer will fit on there, but some of these cute little sideways snowflakes will. Little halfies. Oh, we got to get them right. See, I need my little pointy tweezers. So there, one little guy right there. And here's some other little smaller ones. Maybe, if I can get them off the card. Oh, that one's hooked to another one. That's why. So no, we're not going to take that one. But here's some little. There. Oops, see, I got that little edge. That's something that would bug me, and then I would pick at it. So we don't want that. But we'll see. That other one surprised me once it cured, so we'll see if it lays down nice and flat. Okay, cure. And I'm bummed I still have not gotten that one set of, that was actually what kind of sparked my inspiration for this set to have the blue. Was there was some really pretty, the decals I was supposed to get instead of those press-on nails, had really pretty blue theme, like little cottages, little snow scenes, and I thought that'd be really cute, but they never came in. So unless I get super artistic really quick and can paint a cottage on a fingernail, it's not going to happen. So I'm going to have to improvise. But again, if that's the worst thing that happens to me in a day, then I'm doing all right. So okay. So let's see. Maybe let's do a little sweater. A little sweater art on this guy. Do it kind of off center. I'm going to use my smaller brush to do it too. So again, I'm just going to take that top one, swing it on down to this one. Leave that, and there's that, our little cable net. Do another line. Do 3. And then do some of the little diagonal lines on the side. Follow that through on the side. Now we'll go back. And give it a cure. And again, we'll cure this for 60 seconds just because it's got that powder on it and the acrylic, and I really want to make sure. It almost makes it turn into like when you do the dip powders, when you add that acrylic powder. I mean, really, that's all it is. That's all that dip powder is it's just really, really fine acrylic powder. And the stuff you're painting on your nails is basically the monomer, or the hardening activating agent. And then once you dip it and either cure it or let it air dry, whichever the system requires, then you're good to go and you've got really hard, strong nails. So, let's see. Okay. I'm going to brush it again. Yeah, I think that's cute. Just enough. Not too much. Now, I know, like I said, normally, I've got my Frenches, I've got my pinks, and I live through everybody else. I create all the wild nails, but I don't necessarily wear them. But, one second, let me grab one more thing. Because you always need to clean up. You want to make sure you don't have any dust or residue. Be careful on these. Like, don't do what I just did and wipe a cotton pad right across the acrylic powder just put on, because it will pick up fuzzies and then you have to pick those off. But always after doing your nails and messing with your cuticles and all that fun stuff, don't let your hands dry out like hands like mine. But oh, actually, excuse me, one more thing. Another thing that I talked about the other night was I don't cap my nails when I paint them, because I don't like the fat ends that it gives. So one of the things I always do, now I only do this when I'm using gels because regular nail polish wouldn't be strong enough to handle this, but I go in and I just go on the edges and I give it a nice little crispy edge. And when I do my press-ons in the box, same thing. Just go through. Sorry if anybody doesn't like that noise. I know the filing noise bugs some people. But yeah, you just go through, get off any of those little bumpy edges or where the polish didn't quite get to the edge or anything like that. And then follow through with just some nice cuticle oil. Now, this is my cuticle oil that I make. It's a blend of several essential oils. One of the big ones that's in it, though, that I love is the jojoba oil. It is so awesome for moisturizing. And there's also a little bit of, I can't tell you everything that's in it, but a little bit of rose hips oil. And rose hips has great moisturizing properties, antioxidant properties, and it also has anti-aging properties. So, yeah, just give them a nice oil on the cuticle just because you've been roughing them around and being rude to them. And yeah, so there's that. Like I said, this is so unlike me. So if Marissa sees this video, she's gonna freak out because she doesn't understand all the fun nails and all that. But so yeah, so that's it tonight. We did some icicles. Well, this morning, I guess it is. It's not tonight. It's Thanksgiving today. It's Thanksgiving now. Some sweater weather nails, some cute little just decals to give some little wintry vibes. I didn't want to go full Christmas yet, but and yeah, I'm still gonna be working on my little uh melted snowman. Um so I hope you learned something today. If anybody has any questions or wants to know what products I used, ask me in the comments. And again, I will be going over um next week. Now, tomorrow is Thanksgiving, or today is Thanksgiving, so I'll be gone with my family. Both my kids are home, so I'm excited. Um, Friday, I am hopefully I've talked all the men in my house to being my tree slaves on Friday, my Christmas slaves, because I want to get all my Christmas stuff up. Um, Christmas was such a special time for my mom. She actually absolutely loved Christmas. Not the gift giving, but just the lights and the decorations and everything smelling like cinnamon. And so in her honor, I really want to do it up this year. So I told them they're all on deck, whether they like it or not. And so I will either be working on those catch ups for the Morgan Geyser and the Sander Van Arker um this weekend, but it'll either be something I'll be coming out this weekend or it'll be out Monday. So keep an eye out for that. And who knows, I might pop in here or there just to see how everybody's doing on this weekend. And if you're traveling, be careful. I know in Michigan are having, like, it's a blizzard up north. It's freezing rain here. It's uh it's snowing through the mid part of the state, and we're going all the way to the west side of the state. So while it's just kind of raining here, it's absolute Alaska over there. So, so if you are traveling like I am, please be careful. Watch out for other people who have forgotten how to drive on the roads, and yeah, just stay safe. Have a wonderful holiday. Um, and I hope that um yeah, I just hope that everybody has a great one. So before I go, if you haven't, like I said earlier, I am working on a goal of trying to get to 500 subscribers by January 1st. So if you could hit that subscribe button for me, I would greatly appreciate it. We do lots of fun stuff around here. We do true crime, we do gossip, we do nails, self-care, uh we complain about our kids, all that stuff. It's just fun. So yeah, if you would do that for me, it's completely free and it helps get me out in the algorithm and helps more people see my channel. And the more I grow, the more I can bring to you. So all right, everybody have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thanks for popping in at this odd hour of night, morning, whatever it is to you. And oh, me too. I'm telling you, yeah. That's the way to go for Michigan. So, all right. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and I will see everyone later. Peace out. Have a good one.